Welcome back. New Orleans becoming the first major U.S. city to require COVID shots in school. The vaccine mandate impacting students 5 years old and older. Joining me right now is the Attorney General of Louisiana, Jeff Landry. AG Landry, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. The Supreme Court just ruled that Joe Biden's vaccine mandates were unconstitutional. What is Louisiana doing?
Well, check this out. How about these statistics, Maria? In New Orleans, just in January, there were 22 homicides, 50 shootings, 50 carjackings, and 61 armed robberies. But God forbid some child walk into an ice cream shop unvaccinated. I mean, do you see the problem? I mean, there is literally a disconnect between some of these Democratic leaders and reality. You know, while crime and inflation are both on the rise, all they're worried about are masks and vaccinations.
Well, AJ, I mean, you filed a motion to join a lawsuit against the city of New Orleans over these COVID mandates. It was originally filed by more than 100 people and claims that mandates have caused social, economic, and cultural harm. Tell us about this case and what you think you can do in terms of moving the needle here.
Look, I think it's a great case. I mean, one of the things that we saw at the Supreme Court during the OSHA and CMS mandates, it was a question by Justice Thomas was, where are the plaintiffs, right? In the OSHA case, we had several hundred businesses that joined us. And in that case, we were successful. I think what you're seeing here is that especially mothers just about had enough with the government trying to tell them how to raise their kids and to make healthcare choices for their kids instead of allowing them and their doctors to do it. We believe that this case is going to be successful. We believe the mayor has greatly exceeded her authority. I mean, she's crushing the New Orleans economy again at a time when crime is out of control. And so I think what you're going to start to see is courts around the country start to thaw out in the way that they're looking at these mandates. I mean, really, it's been over 24 months that we've been under this emergency order. I mean, how long can an emergency actually last?
Well, it's absolutely extraordinary, this power grab that we continue to see from the federal government. What can you do about it other than trying to push back through the courts? I mean, look, you're looking at lawlessness. The Biden administration isn't even reinstating remain in Mexico, even though the courts told them to do so fully. We understand it's just a couple of hundred people going back to Mexico, even though 2 million people were apprehended over the last year and another 250,000 just this year.
Well, I can tell you, the only people who are standing between the Biden administration and American citizens in protecting their liberties are Republican attorney generals. We saw Ken Paxton down at the border with several AGs, again, filing suit against the Biden administration on his failed immigration policies. We see, attorney generals from around the country, Todd Rokita, Eric Schmidt, Missouri, Mark Brnovich, Alan Wilson, and so on, all taking the Biden administration and government to task when these mandates are crushing Americans. Again, think of the economic impact this is having on the economy, Maria. Again, going back to Louisiana, the number of restaurants, great restaurants that have been in that city for decades now, right, which attracts tourists into that city, are closing by the dozens each and every week.
Wow. What a shame. What a shame what impact this is having on the economy of Louisiana. You could also say the same thing about energy. And by the way, we were with those 13 AGs down at the border last week. Ken Paxton putting together a summit of attorneys general, and we went and met them there. So I heard all of these complaints from the 13 AGs that I was able to speak with. But you're talking about restaurants. What about energy? Louisiana is an energy state. Americans are feeling the pain at the pump as prices soar. The first thing that Joe Biden did when he walked into the White House was cancel the XL pipeline. And now the national average for a gallon of regular gas is $3.41, almost $1 more than a year ago. In your state, Louisiana, gas also climbing over $3 a gallon. So, AG, is there anything you can do about this war on fossil fuels and this new policy about climate, which has sent oil prices skyrocketing?
Absolutely. Look, one of the things that we saw, our Solicitor General's office, which is headed by Liz Muro, actually went into court right after the president instituted a moratorium on the leasing of federal lands. We actually won that particular case and forced the government to start leasing federal property again for energy production. Unfortunately, just on Friday, a judge in D.C. basically stay that particular lease sale. Again, those are things that are counterproductive to lowering energy costs, which is part of the inflationary pressure that the middle class and the poor are seeing right now. And it's hurting them at their pocket.
Right, and
so again, go ahead.
Yeah, you speak about the vaccine mandates. That's one of the reasons we've got a labor shortage, right? I mean, truckers leaving the job, other people leaving the job because they don't want to have to deal with a vaccine mandate. So everywhere you look, policy is creating a real upset in a number of states. I am with, this morning, the New York Post's Kelly Jane Torrance, and I want to get her in here. Kelly Jane, go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, Maria, as you say, President Biden on his first day closed the Keystone Pipeline. He's in court fighting other pipelines, and yet now he's begging OPEC to produce more oil. I mean, how is this possible? What do the people, AG, what do the people in Louisiana think about this? I mean, they know themselves that oil and gas is a big part of the economy in that state, and it's something that every single person uses. But of course, it's worse on the working class when you have people who have to drive to work. That greater prices at the pump are really hitting them hard.
Jeff.
Yes, Maria, here's the interesting part. There is no industry that has lifted more people out of poverty than the oil and gas industry, than the energy industry. And yet this administration has done everything they can to crush that particular industry while, again, making the American citizens pay for it.
It's unbelievable how many lawsuits this administration is facing from all of the AGs across the country and these policies that have, in many cases, failed the American people. Jeff Landry, it's great to catch up with you. Please come back soon. We so appreciate you. You're on the front lines of protecting America and certainly Louisiana. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Maria.